for Ben Martin, Alex Brinson, MLEVITTNP 2013. Ketel Fadenper THORSTENWIETHL1. Then who is dying in Israel?
Frankfurt Sack.
We must inspire a new generation of America First patriots, and this club brings it. My campaign will match all donations in the next 24 hours up to 5K. Maybe some of my great New York congressional colleagues will join me.
Some food for a thought.
Mikos, oh yeah, that could do a trick. Fadenper, can somebody send him to space with no return ticket? Elon Musk.
Mikos.
Ben Martin, even though they claimed no evidence in trials affected transmission. Mikos, well, they need to work on their music a bit, otherwise great.
Mikos, more of this please.
Mikos.
Beautiful news. This should be the law of the land in every state in this union.
James Melville, I have seen two lunatics wearing similar on my flight to Houston. Their shield was foggy from their own breath. No idea how they could see anything. Take aside, they look ridiculous. Alex Brinson, there is a huge excess in 85 deaths in Israel.
Piers Morgan Dumpkick.
Mr. Commodity JHASKINSCABRERA, she is worried people will start waking up, seeing the states without mandates doing better than those with.
Always remember, local elections are just as important, if not more important, than federal elections. While they may not get the headlines, that is where a lot of change is truly made.
Night Post.
Then IVG27 Ash Stewart can wait for their winter to hit.
Justin Hart.
NCHERALD.
Look at Politico's total fake news headline. Can't tell if it's a mistake or Liban. No way is Mitch in charge anymore. We don't care what titles he has, what silly perks he hoodwinks his colleagues into giving him. Almost makes me wish Amy McGrath had beaten him.
Jassing, Kursed Koklet, one match sandwich. The Democrats none the mob attacked undefended businesses.
This makes fact-checking a total joke.
Shane Eggers, on your talk down of the hallucination you are having is effective. I think you mocked it well.
Always is so good. Come back to your own imagination, saying you got yourself on that one.
We are not all paying attention. Non-du Corduco 19. That's how I'd expect a victim to talk about the event.
We probably destroyed an entire generation.
Do you know why our justice system doesn't put the family members of the victims on the jury? Because it wouldn't be a fair trial, that's why. But the victims of the Capitol assault just sat on the jury for the impeachment trial over the Capitol assault. No problem. Biden 711. You favor impeaching Biden for the fine people hoax too?
54 of Democrats and 21 of Republicans oppose freedom of speech, basically. The replied no major network Democrats won't read any of those sources.
Worf tries to argue is the fake news part. He debunked it by showing the whole video. That isn't trying to argue anything, that's winning.
I don't think I can support any Republican who doesn't at least talk about impeaching Biden for spreading the fine people hoax, which obviously incites violence. Other side, you interpreted disavowing racists as being a racist. You probably shouldn't talk in public.
The flower nurse, geez Louise, it's a clown world. It snowed last night, temperature has gone up to nice 10°C and it's sunny, so this morning's snowshoeing plan is to cross the frozen river, now entirely safe, and search for otter sign. Use a mail.
Do a Google search on impeachment fine people hoax and see how the fake news in at least one search engine have disappeared. The biggest story in the country, Breitbart, was the biggest publication to do the story. Google hides them. This is happening right in front of us.
https://tcokulsunlixd.
Pfizer BioNTech vaccine. Some cases of arterial hypertension on high surveillance. Translation below.
Conflict of interest. Post-COVID investigator is recipient of Chinese Communist cash. Worked with Woon Lab for 18 years. https://tcod1gih7m86.
Total news silence on the biggest story of the year. Last post of a thread that examines what health is necessary due to fear stoked by our governments in concert with mainstream media and big pharma.
Is this real high-end vandalism? What happened to Joe's Lawn of Love? https://tco7sp0
Required reading for Ontario residents. Excellent reading for those who want to know the mechanism for silencing medical professionals. Ontario Science Table. A gangrenous limb that needs amputation and burning Ford Nation in it up to his scalp.
This is a practice run for the next federal election.
COVID-19 India and France. A cruel comparison. Use Google Translate.
The remdesivir scandal deepens. Not only does it not treat COVID-19, but it generates mutations of the virus. France Sawyer. This scandal involves the Ministry of Health, the Scientific Council, their allies, and influencers. With 10 dead per million inhabitants, it would be interesting to look at Madagascar's strategy. COVID-19, the strange epidemic strategy of Madagascar. Masking observed in Europe. There is no correlation between masking and propagation of the virus. PR2Sen was right. Masking outdoors is a political measure.
India. The number of new contaminations plummet in spite of intense social interactions. The possibility of having reached herd immunity is suggested, notably in the capital, where more than 1 in 2 inhabitants have antibodies. Andrew Clark. Jack Pasabik. When is Saki leaving? She is a
Jack Pasabik. Biden won't be around in 2024. OpenAX Ted Petra grouping things like how
DNM 1712 Games Blazer 06 IANMSC. It's deaths per mil pop. What's your problem? Stato in proportion to NHS UK.
It's amazing to hear from some people how moronic Trump was after recent Biden's. This old fart keeps schools closed, mandates useless masks, and threatens to impose testing for domestic travel. And Trump supposedly told people to drink bleach. FCUK them.
02 on the popular vote. 13 failed businesses. 25 sexual assault misconduct allegations. This list goes on for much longer.
161 on election lawsuits.
Mark Slifka. Google News. You mean they are healthy? Frankfurt Zach MPKRETSCHMER. Jacinto 1 2 cold and 2 closed. Jacinto 1. Squat Papa NBC NEWS. I answered that many times in the string. Absurd. If any of that was true, there would be no need to have specifically listed the remainder. I suggest people go read what comes after that. Idiotic.
Line to third location. I feel 18 all over again. HTTPS TCOFZAFEWYHQQ.
Hypnosimia Ted Petra. Big fan of COVID-0 or what?
Eternity. Haha nice. Bright breaker lol.
Monocogun exactly relying on antibodies only is nonsense.
Gadagabu N01.
Who's better at making people to never die? Real Joe Hillsbilly. Lockdowns make it worse.
Into problem.
Alondro. Well, technically they stole this name from another city.
District I only here in Florida it is now.
Consul founds Matt absolutely demolished himself.
Consul founds he hasn't even deleted the tweet yet. HTTPS TCOWZUBHAXA1R.
Florida is a time machine. HTTPS TCODFAGWUQSUF.
Celestial Swan. Most places have a mask sign on the door. None made me put on.
Celestial Swan. No.
The prequels are the best Star Wars movies. Actually, they are the greatest movies of all time. The Flower Nurse. I post glad to see that's getting covered in the mainstream media.
The Flower Nurse Bichut Yeesh. That's our crime minister. How is getting impeached twice in one term? Flex. HTTPS TCOSAOJYDJ97X.
Miriaus. Cheers. HTTPS TCODGINKLJTRN. Acquitted again. HTTPS TCO600579J.
Bingus founders funny. You should ask. HTTPS TCOTMXPJDDMZQ.
Alex Brinson. Look life.
So the Pentagon admits it is holding and testing the wrecks of the crashed UFOs, but you know what, I want to hear more about how Orange Man is bad. HTTPS TCO6DB8ZHDAGN.
Quiet at 83-237-73 HMM. You think there is hope? Murray House.
Whoever followed the actual science knows this. I've got a good night story for you. Our friends in Germany own a business. They lose over 60k per month since they will survive until mid of March, and when it's over they receive 8k support from the government for the whole year. Their business was rather successful.
You have to read this. Scott Alexander is one of the most productive thinkers and extraordinary writers alive. Case 9610. Very secret dog whistly, I guess.
Robbins messing. It was a rational decision. Jacinth. The Democrats, they took winning the presidency like good sports for them.
We're balling specifically, including all of that. Why didn't the news warn us if it was so obvious?
Hey Joe Biden, you might want to resign. Bob Fox Sports Bar has waited.
Touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. My, listen to me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you. I told you, homeboy, you can't touch this. Yeah, that's how we living, and you know, you can't touch this.
That flower nurse correction, you meant to say pandemic. That flower nurse, I'm actually reading a novel by an author I enjoy very much, not politically correct, in his newest installment in a series. He is one of these they characters, very difficult pain in the ass to read and a big disappointment. That flower nurse, he looks like one too. That flower nurse, you don't need to tell me.
Valentine's Day protest in Ottawa.
Alenko 66 27 32 28. Yeah, I figured it now.
Imperial Mag, thanks.
Alenko 66 27 32 28. I do, but I would also like to eat.
Hillary Clinton, what a nasty woman you are. We need to do all we can to support her and Canada's frontline nurses.
Meet high school. Honestly, hooking my laptop up to my TV has served me the best, especially when I want to watch a Twitch stream with chat.
The Foxbook NGL. I respect the hustle if Gab users are actually dumb enough to buy it.
Doggone Oracle Cody and some other stuff works better than you jailbreak. Same goes for Fire Sticks.
The website really is easy to navigate, however I personally would like to see lockdowns and the destruction of Canada addressed, as the election will likely take place during the pandemic, but I'm no political expert.
A jailbroken Chromecast or just the Roku system your TV came with will be better. Betting they are going to try charging $60 for this dysfunctional clump of plastic.
Gab really threw an ugly Android build on a Raspberry Pi and they are calling it the Gab TV. Someone there said, let's create a Chromecast but make it worse in every imaginable way. https tco9pmd.
Boutros 555.
Foster 68. Dog Talk Sports Bar wants you to know that Biden isn't their president. https tcorjvjhrw6a0.
Can't get a table anywhere as I'm walking in St. Petersburg. G's https tcolgi36lhdep.
Study showing no proof of transmission of COVID by infected players during high contact sport. Stop the Corona Circus rugby study below. Boris Butcher gets coverage outside the UK.
TRUTHERLTD. Well, it is a team effort. Is I willed heart great?
Breaking news, I hear the House Democrats are getting ready to announce a new impeachment against Abraham Lincoln.
1984 reality, yes.
Robin's messing is the Constitution a technicality.
MNJREV, that's the spirit. Tim Stowers to law.
CPC claiming high journalistic standards.
Is I will dart, haha, I love that.
DKINE82, haha, I love it.
Joe 65 80 90 43, see you get it.
Jim Pot JMOORE 37 were 1,400 per.
Nice one.
Ivan Untouchable.
DKINE82 dominating.
Joe 65 80 90 43, some facts are racist.
Joe 65 80 90 43, I won't be holding my breath on seeing that ask.
Why would we believe Trump definitely knew his words would cause the Capitol assault when no one in the news business knew in advance they listened to his words too? Why didn't they warn us?
JMOORE 37 were the third one is a pay-per-view trial by Combat Cage match.
Joe 65 80 90 43. What if he's the Rocky of politics, lol? LROBKGs.
Carrot 7627. I thought it was so classic I would post it. Thanks for sending it, lol.
His 20 on impeachment votes, the undisputed champ. The big question is, will he go for a three-peat or is he going to retire? https tco4ndzbuvswd.
Roadster car, and well, the health stuff is already being massively subsidized and are encouraged because of Fed money to those companies.
Roadster car, and that's pretty easy to cover, pay for, or to simply make it go away with Fed legislation if it ever became an issue.
Certain tunnels hood abuses, haha, I love it.
Anonymous Inch 1 revelation free Matthew for Trump, just another guy playing his part.
An excellent thread and conflicts of interest within Sage.
Brandon Live correct. Roadster car, and you talking about life insurance? I'm sure there will be a bailout for that if needed.
Oh, Addo Smith, I wonder too.
Gene Riz DCFANFIRST Matthew for Trump, haha.
Duck will resign the Biden version of the Scaramucci affair. https tco2alnt6ioc9. If you get indicted but not convicted, we say you have been found not guilty. If you get impeached but acquitted in the Senate, we say you got impeached. Seems drawing. Common sense, Fred.
Mental pioneer yet.
Viola the Tweety, the true inspiration for the format https tcov9 Roy.
FR0SSTI having more than 3 bumper stickers is weird with limited exceptions for Subaru drivers.
So does Joe Biden not support Israel? It's the old Jen Psaki, the people silent talking around the issue support Israel.
Trump supporters, you liberals make being gay your whole personality. Also Trump supporters.
C89 16 66 165 next time.
The Democrats are fearful of me because they know their radical agenda won't get by me. I'm here to stand in the way of disasters like HR 127 and the likes of it. Donate to my campaign today so I can keep standing up for our values. https tcoazzr1exvas.
This look at us, we're wearing red for actified partisans. Meanwhile, the women on New York local TV dropping dead, forced to work painful schedules midnight to 11 a.m. One more hit for a mini show on GMT passes but always looking for someone younger and cheaper, not for https tcoitjuqhnzan.
FCUKES1 Luna COS.
The final boss of Trump cars https tcowphqwzpiwl.
Edited Donald and open the FCUK everything with no or other. Mr. I bet you love lockdowns cause people prefer to avoid you. JMUNS22 saying keep here.
Dana no Kara, Great Fred.
Twice https tcocvxjdwhu.
What exactly does Michael Steele bring to the table other than the willingness to slam the party who once led got lost?
A day later and no one is pushing back at the Trump lawyers' total debunking of the fine people hoax, yet it was the heart of Biden's campaign that is
Oh my God! Oh, so y'all really thought y'all were gonna convict and disqualify President Trump? That is so funny. So, hold on. Y'all didn't have nothing. The Democrats, listen, they didn't have nothing this whole time. They had absolutely nothing. President Trump did nothing wrong. Trump has been acquitted, not just for the first time, but for the second time. Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? Boy, his legal team did the thing, baby. Listen, this impeachment trial was a scam. It was for pure entertainment. It was straight up harassment. They only impeached Trump because they were scared of him. They are scared of him. They just didn't want him to run again in 2024. But that Trump 2024 kind of got a ring to it. I really like the way that sounds. Don't that sound good? It sounds really good to me. They tried to impeach him to stop him. But y'all can't stop Trump. Y'all just don't get it. Y'all don't get it. And not only are y'all trying to stop him, y'all are trying to stop us. But we will always support President Trump. We will always have his back. And you know it. They know we will vote for him in 2024. They know we will have his back no matter what he do. So that's why they wanted to impeach him. But guess what? It didn't work. Oh, I know y'all mad. No, it's funny because it's so cute. It was so cute. Like y'all were really, in that trial.
Watching CNN whine that the impeachment trial vote was political is hilarious. What did anyone expect?
Miriams, it's the new journalism. Black is white, up is down, dry is wet. They have no shame.
He's worth $35 million, has been in politics his entire adult life. https tcovnwc0yzsbc
WSTEV and MARTIN Leader McConnell MARTINRH. What's wrong with being right?
The more he talks, the more curious I become about how he became so rich while earning a government salary for 40 years. How'd you get rich, Mitch? https://tcomjallnncaaF.
https://tcomnxukcxmb. Confirmation of the swamp conspiracy against the people. MITCHS speech. https://tcokowgmervcb. Resign your no leader. https://tcoabsi509b. Follow the traffic. https://tco2xweyqcq0c.
Wait, he's the Senate Majority Leader and he gets his info from the fake news sit down swamp. https://tco4ffj6ftqsw.
Sit down, Mitch. You've been manipulated and lied to. https://tcoyr1 look for JAS.
GW Builders. Sunilbip, what country is that? An island in the S of the world.
Urkuo.
Wow, it can be done. I've been thinking for ages to start an information campaign to counter the misinformation campaign constantly being waged by Ford Nation, etc. Newspaper ads, billboards, radio, strictly factual defense bill.
5P5E5 I don't agree to living by what some majority says. That's not voluntary. I hold minority positions on almost everything. How am I represented in such a situation?
It's banana republics all around. 5P5E5 well, in theory it might be fine like that. I just know that it will expand and be abused as the information gathering control system everything does. I'm good with anything that is truly voluntary, but it has to be able to stay that way. Health bureaucrats gotta go. Raise your hands, all those who want to see them all sent to North Korea with a one-way ticket.
https://tcokyut8jrwm.
I'm following this as we all know where mail-in ballots led, don't we? It strikes me this convenient discovery of the ultra-contagious CBC wording on the radio UK variant led to this lockdown election scenario, a practice session for the federal election.
ACLS 99 Emerald Dragons 7 incredibly.
DCFANFIRST Matthew for Trump, then he was a naive fool because Fossey has been a rat since the 80s. CJBOWDEN1 Emerald Dragon 7 that Art Deco era had some bodice stuff.
Hitchcock https://tcoipt for MAGAs.
Mythic Politics amazing meme. I saw this initially from your Reddit post and didn't check your Twitter. Added you to our Twitter list, so we'll make sure to read it next time you post a good one.
Emerald Dragons 7, that is a factory car.
That flowers couldn't have people think I lived in a total disaster with water dripping from my ceilings everywhere. I just purified glass plant context in the kitchen table, a handy workspace with terrific lighting, and added a smiley face ball to the pot.
Skydiver 19701 yen.
QUENJANEAPPR0X Mythic Politics. I found the link from their Reddit post. Hey, then check their Twitter.
EDUBDABAGINNTS3 open schools just recently.
Texit 97 Matthew for Trump. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's for the Matthew for Trump. Yes, of course.
HKSARDSI love comma but the 100 earned his spot in this image.
Darkness is certain about it over to the big much.
I shamelessly ripped this from Mythic Politics. Go give them a follow.
Muriel's with a bunch of clowns. No wonder mainstream media is becoming the butt of jokes. This is a good thing.
You get cancelled for being done and all the other illegal trials and rules purgatory https://tcook1fc4klk.
Happiness https://tco0sfq709jks7.
Live for the pennies and be resolved peacefully. I am all in favor of the violence going for now and the destroying who are destroying us. The only thing that can work is getting people on our side once that happens to us is easy. Live for yes, if people refuse to accept the reality they are shown.
Matthew for Trump, the only thing that enabled the lockdown was Trump's declaration of national emergency. That is what screwed us all initially, and this fed money to the states to allow them to be able to afford to keep the restrictions on wake-up people.
Well, I affirm they are the ones pushing, not me. They are escalating. They are the ones with GOVT thugs with guns forcing things on people. I just want to be left alone, but they don't leave anyone alone, and they're coming for us all eventually.
Yuri amidst St. Petersburg, Florida.
Hold it is a sword and right it is SHT. People need to wake up. It is a control system, nothing more, nothing less. They divide the people against each other in a million ways to keep us from seeing the true enemy of the people.
GH72199914 St. Petersburg, Florida.
Jack was Rhodes P1 Pro Me Capital. The people are the problem, they've been brainwashed into insanity. GGOODIE 52 is at St. Petersburg or Tampa.
DMR2 Core 520 ha that guy needs to compose for GOVT lol. 1 and 0 Q 3D Peppercat 64 Baby Smurf at 75 range and it.
Dame 28 Digital, it's a complete scam. The Constitution is SHT.
Fit with health, wow. Endless accurate lol.
Avatar, yes, and the people are fine with it.
Wandama 1059 94 33 NBC and EWS, amazing how many people can't read a simple sentence and respond on point, wow.
KG 7277 14 I agree.
5P5E5 I'm not okay with GOVT. Any GOVT big enough for me to have to pay attention to it will be too big. I know it will always be a criminal operation.
GH7219914 St. Petersburg Beach, Florida.
Warrenither, haha, I love it.
In 2 trucks the game is rigged. GOVT is the enemy of the people.
Miss Ollie 16 Agroflight 11 thank you.
Agroflight 11 I'm glad we really have to stick together.
Gonzo 53 56 18 54 Knox 64 Knox, yes.
Knox 64 Knox, well thank you. I am glad you enjoy it and I more than understand the thing GOVT is screwing a lot of people.
Zoe 5, you won't regret it.
Mika Hinlix, yes I've seen it, she does a good job.
Zillian McFarland Brody, St. Petersburg, Florida. Come and support this great state.
Miss Ollie 16 I really don't know why I give it a lot of thought.
Lady Bird, it's good to know we're not alone. Others do see, but we need a lot more.
AGINNT, fire this CDC bitch now. Fate Brewer, I think I am in love. As he should, my man.
MRROBTYSON Math and Cock, I plan to post videos from indoor bars too tonight. This is preview https tcodcowjizm2s.
Delathrton Breton. The minority government said the decision would mean the end of nationwide limits on movement, including a nighttime curfew, the lifting of a ban on public gatherings, and a reopening of retail stores. Some other measures may still be extended under different legislation.
Curse bell.
A present from Czech Parliament to its voters on Valentine's Day. The Czech lower house of Parliament on Thursday rejected the government's request to extend a state of emergency underpinning pandemic measures beyond February 14. This good people https tcopjvadl0ex.
I hear the Democrats are planning a third and fourth impeachment against President Trump.
Norman 1776, stay tuned.
Alex Philippiaga. Guys, I will try to hit the bars tonight. Jack Garden 08 or Jixon 94.
Zach Bissonette, Ron DeSantis is FCUKING, amazing.
Jack Barton 08 or Jixon 94.
Canis Chilkus, he will instantly block you if you bring up that one time he soiled his pants while running track in high school.
Fact check through https tcozcp75sdja.
Andrew Cuomo is a mass murderer and should be arrested.
Notice the bleeding voice of the current lawyer speaking. It signals that he doesn't believe his own argument, even if he does compare later to Trump's lawyers.
PPT 28019 on call for on checkout Florida on map of the world.
Skeptic Algebra, not everyone, but definitely would be enough for the vulnerable group to feel comfortable.
G. Mark Benoit on call for on.
VAUSHV or BDAY is on Valentine's Day.
Alex Philippiaga, there is one in Russia, quite famous one.
Mark Kangizi, that's how true love looks like. Mark Kangizi.
Password 12345. Just because I didn't open bar doesn't mean indoors is closed for us in https tcodcupauncjb. I came to DC to work for my constituents. Perhaps the media and left weren't ready for a true conservative who will never back down from their values, but they had better get used to https tcoxthp3xbhgi.
IANMSC schools is worse cause they deprive kids of their future, and those same kids are supposed to contribute to the pension fund to support all the old farts in 20-30 years.
Sports 03 Alex Brinson, look at Florida or Sweden.
You will house 7 facts cause people are stressed when they drive like pigs.
Mark Kangizi Yak had those two.
Frankfurt Zeppelin Clemens iPhone study.
Bob Jones 1950 sounds like a hard standard to enforce. I would impeach Biden on that standard for the fine people hoax because it also has a predictable outcome and violates. Dumb better and rock sure cause it was so trendy to wear in 2019. Dumb awesome.
Democrats realize they don't have the 67 Senate votes to convict President Trump. Now they are discussing new legislation to prevent him from holding office again. They claim he was the worst president ever, yet are absolutely terrified he would win if he ran again in 2024. No completing World War VI suggests he doesn't believe his own argument.
Democrat lawyers will not address yesterday's debunking of the Fine People hoax because they can't, and the fake news will not mention the dog not barking. Democrats are doing a lot of bad mind reading today.
Democrats gave up on their impeachment argument and vote needed notice it more fed into he didn't act strongly enough to stop it.
Now that the Fine People hoax has been debunked to the world, we need to impeach Biden for making it the foundational purpose for his campaign. Obviously it incites violence. I'm Kindle loving the show. Kirkland on the Science. Street time.
McCarthy was the only person who spoke to President Trump during the breach on June 6, the second witness to put Jamie H. Hagan return Nick witness. Not so sure how come the possible things plays better than any way they could show the notes on the way to the entire ground. They were based on this clearly from the power.
Is Jerome confident of the goal?
Then are the experts.
YRKIWR.
Night Circumcision founds. I don't think this fit exactly meets conservative gender standards. Making a conservative gender take with Lil Uzi as your PFP is massive.
0 Badfish 6231 50 36 SFN 1964 Berlin Deadly Pandemic My SHTTPS TCOFAO6 RDEBCP.
Sounds like a threat. Badfish 6231 50 36 SFN 1964 Berlin Dramatic Increase My ass.
Hesitant lawyer Rand Paul Lal Fossey is an immunologist, not an epidemiologist, so bugger off.
Ted Cruz promises our fun is Senator, I appreciate that.
Well, it's not mRNA, at least they also have another one in trials, one base of traditional protein technology Chumakov's vaccine. Many people are waiting for it in Russia. Look at the energy frenzies, they do everything but work for us. Remember impeachment, pretending it's a constitutional crisis. It's all fun, it beats working on issue for us. COVID skills infrastructure, screw that stuff, it's boring. Let's pretend we're iconic. HTTPS TCOXIBCCLRDY4.
FCDKING frustrating to see stupid tourists wearing outdoors here in Florida.
Witnesses I call the SGT Harmsy, call the DC mayor, I call some of the cops who let them into them. You get ready, PRTARE defend why did you escort some of the rioters inside? We knew an arrest was coming, why did you facilitate instead of stopping it? The only thing worse than Jamie Raskin and Stacey Plaskin and Swalwell and who the leftist media that promotes and protect them.
Jamie Raskin is losing, so he's going with this nonsense is for days. A disaster for him. Remember he took it in 2017 for the race for Jamie.
Democrats want witnesses in the Senate trial makes sense. Why would they want a TV show filmed to get the show off? And they got yesterday they are using the sweat blocks to do anything but work and out free money and raise they can get on TV slot. Congress.com, come on guys, we're going to make it Senator's birthday.
Don't forget headlines all the star rock what they realize about but when you only more recently they are lying about black men and boys post by law enforcement company and where students are smart enough to know this not even stop the smart controls fixing to shit on.
Say grandma my ass.
Well, guess what?
The flower nurse further explanation, the leak is due to drainage pipe which runs along the outside wall, so cold even with an electric baseboard. The leak is in the hall near the back door near the pipe. Pipe gets blocked with ice, slow drip causes backup and leak, hot water melts ice.
I am really not looking forward to the long-term outcomes of COVID lunacy in the future. Lockdown O Daniel 9366 2348 Divisriver.
The flower nurse meanwhile over here the pipes are freezing and some water is coming down from the ceiling. The plants feel at home small leaks, so a quick repainting will take care of it. I figured out to run boiling hot water from the upstairs bath periodically to get rid of the ice.
Frankfurt Zach defied nice.
Sorry, last week, not last night.
Heard from a friend there should be lockdown protest Indiana today. 30k people. If somebody sees a video, please post defied Frankfurt Zach.
MNJREV, they demanded.
Andy 5 lol. Dagro Flight 11, glad you're here. MNJREV lol. Yes, we're stuck living amongst a bunch of people with the mentality of slaves.
YGPFC UK INGFC UK.
Petracat 64 Baby Smurfit 75 Something's going on, that's for sure. And Mafrahai. Kirpen Mailmline EFC UK ING should.
PN Schwartz, no doubt, and the people will believe that as well.
Alicia 2883 56 49 SMORESQJHASKINSCABRERA CRA 11. Yeah, even here in Tempe there are some Karens.
Petracat 64 lol. I thought Tom Cotton would be a strong contender for president in 2024 until I realized you can't expect a sizable portion of Americans to be excited about picking Cotton. Irony aside, it's a real problem. The flower nurse, it's a planned revolution, who knew?
Care Pro 4, I truly feel sorry for you guys. Got some friends in Germany too. The flower nurse, they didn't look right sitting in piles of equipment and tools. Now I'm finding better places for the work-related stuff and surrounding the plants with decorative things. ITLL also shave off hours of looking for tools as I create space by throwing things out.
Baby Smurfit 75 are surrounded by meat robots posing as people.
Crony capital, yes, let's dance. GDUBISKYG mirrors clown world writ large. Luke Phillips 79, an insult to my intelligence.
Previously Go 372, we all know who is who at this point.
WINTM2 bingo.
Kylie Gersper lol, yes.
Blummerble yes, opinions are assigned to us. Harold, if world herd immunity, I bet you can hardly see the death numbers in Stockholm. Thus before the variant is called happiness, it's highly contagious. That is why Biden would like to implement a travel ban to Florida so they don't spread sanity. I like this, the universe rewards action. Free GUIs ish nothing now, but we fix going forward. Does anyone doubt this?
The flower nurse, a high of 14C today. I'm avoiding both of my unheated workshops today. My bromeliads are forcing me to reorganize my entire house so they will look better in context. They are doing excellent.
Hashtag BSHARPIEDJ Shannon 8955 8046 Milpen D Aries V5M 1000 Jeremy Hunt exactly, and they sell it as if medical staff always wore this crap.
Sund Pamela, no idea, it is truly scary.
PGOVT enough with the masks and the BS vaccines and the slow economic grind down games masquerading as help. It's clear you want most of us sick, dead, or in electronic cages. Fair enough, I'm tired of the charade. Let's start the real game already.
Korean, all he wants for his birthday is the impeachment to end. HTTPS TCOELQCG4W3M.
Jason Who 1053 544 Mark Kane DZ, I hate muffled speech.
How they treat science these days with death threats.
Sign Hakes Illogic and lifting Lars Schmidt. We were never in the same solar system as a possible civil war. There is no appetite for that in this country.
You Woodhouse 7 exactly.
DHMYRDALZ3RGLING2 Marxism sarcasm. What percentage of the election system did they audit?
Tiberiusitis JWICKERS. You think they wanted Trump to be president if they believed he lost the election fair and square? You haven't met many Republicans.
That flower nurse growing in the snow, I fear our 20C will freeze even garlic. However, there was a decent sized vegetable field here for a while, 100 feet x 100 feet or so, but when the one farmer sold the farm to the other farmer, he used a backhoe to take all the topsoil. Cheapskate.
JHASKINSCABRERA. They took a guy off the recently for wearing something like this.
IMPRUHHH. Look up or in the dictionary. Paper ballots with audits are probably transparent enough. Unknown 4260 39 35 lol.
Unknown 4260 39 35 I know.
Sign Hakes Illogic and lifting Lars Schmidt was the Viking hat guy going to keep the country. American people, wake the FCUK up. You are being FCUKED over and over and over again. Your kids are treated like trash. Kids are your country's future. FFS, wake the FCUK up. Start asking questions.
JWICKERS. Did their signs say they wanted the Viking hat guy to be their new leader? What do you suppose they might do?
Knox 64 Knox Aline rocks. Come on guys, everyone's doing it.
Cringe Kikukar SWHOTMESSJ before Comic and PCNEWS. I mean it is getting to that point. DMR 24520 long.
Belisarius Curtis lol.
Sign makes a logic and lifting Mars. What percentage of the election process do you believe is transparent? It's a 1020. What's your guess? Genius Flotus, what a bunch of idiots we live among.
It is entirely reasonable to say that courts found no proof of widespread fraud in the election. True, at the same time we can say the result of the election was not credible. Credibility would come from full transparency or a lack of motive to cheat. Neither apply. Gens 140,081. What are 5 days going to do?
American society in 2021, ladies and gentlemen, throwing kids under the bus.
Real for 3 or maybe Alibaba.
Sign takes a logic and lifting Lars Schmidt. Had the election been transparent and credible, I suppose he would have done just that. Took 415 red but green ALLIEBSNHHEMINGWAY 68 NBCNEWS lol. Just trying to have a bit of fun before they cut me off and send me to the camp to be absorbed.
Stacey Reagan Jordan Shackle Plenty.
On second THOUGTHSF.
If protesters who march on the Capitol intended to fortify the Republic by making the election more transparent, it is that a coup feels like exactly the opposite to me. We can all deplore the violence, of course.
Sign Hakes Lars Schmidt. Only if that was the intention, this crowd intended to preserve the system, not destroy it.
Mia Gonkai hope I help. Stavandis, of course. Bob Jones 1950s reckless high crime or misdemeanor. Seems like every president seems reckless to someone.
Berliners and whatnot, the impeachment charges.
It is happening. Corn Pop is reeing a man that hid in his basement, a man that Big Tech did to defend and lie for, a man that MSM is now calling more popular than Clinton with blowjobs, Obama with black people. Wake up, please wake up. HTTPS TCO5MP6S6GXP8. I remember when people mocked me for saying Trump is smart and persuasive. Now he's being impeached specifically for being so persuasive that his words allegedly inspired an insurrection, and he suddenly became so smart that he knew exactly what his words would cause. Agnels.
JPR 41411 by Zabuka Prager Vadenper. I will try if I get somebody to watch my kid.
SENTINTSIXP. Literally no one excuses his handling of the situation.
Congratulations to the Beltways News cutest couple Duckload, and what I like most about this pair is that it's totally grandma free and neither is all high maintenance. HTTPS TCOSGKDQZHBP7.
Catherine 12XGBONE1 but not the capital police authority.
I noticed CNN pundits stopped calling the June 6th event an insurrection or a coup. Now it's an assault or a riot. I guess it got too embarrassing reporting that the protesters looted content of the United States and Canada, which is totally awesome. Congratulations to Leslie and John Community Unanimous with the best of HTTPS TCOVHHBT0B.
Just so we're all clear, he still doesn't stop at Disney. HTTPS TCOVHBT0B.
In the initiative in particular, access collection on the campaign for developing countries and financing different economies. I had a productive meeting tonight with Bill Gates and Melinda Gates united together.
I confirm in the Dominican REPUBLICHCQBITDNC and free sale, no prescription.
Special peek from the meeting to the House Managers. Rory McCullough looks a bit chaotic and haphazard, but it's hard to tell what's going on. My big question, where is Swalwell? How can they have a meeting without Swalwell? HTTPS TCOETYAB5ZQ5L.
Wow.
Underlining this.
I'm infuriated. The Biden administration is now going to bring 25,000 asylum seekers with active court cases from Mexico into the US. We all know how this story ends. Biden's immigration policy needs to be stopped. Our country cannot handle this. Great thread with great presentation of material.
Here is Joe Biden in the funny healing and unity guarding big dopey cardboard signs about as relevant as a greeting card, because Joe could have provided both unity and healing by pulling off impeachment instead. Compassion. Joe tries to bully Trump, it will backfire. Joe HTTPS TCOOKQQOEDN for F. Fish Davidson. I can't help thinking they are depending on the vaccines to create a third wave, same as happened in Israel and the UK. States funded shield.
So when he says I will destroy you, the only logical reaction from anyone is log https://ylkbw3c0b.
Zop isolates QL by Scott Adams https tco4.q by Gilbert Bailey.
Excellent organization fighting for our rights behind the pirate recruiter. Hydroxychloroquine or received in the late stage clinic.
Looks like the smile's happening.
The Professor Earl
I think that recovery is heading towards one of the greatest medical scandals. This study was clearly done with the torpedo and the in protocol without hesitating to kill patients. The left-wing media have finally found their hurt. They will government persecute no matter what it takes, and this is if they will speak in truth and power more than recount facts matter. Tough question segments awards.flow.
French bread on Spanish RCT on vitamin D. 551 patients assigned to VITD treatment 379 in the control group. Reduction of IQ risk of 82 in patients treated with VITD. Reduction of mortality of 60.
Post-recovery meta-analysis: hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin effective in treating COVID-19. Paste article into Google Translate.
Excellent journalism into the pandemic on this website. Rosemary Fry exposing the corruption behind the scenes going back to before COVID. Eye-opening stuff. You'll be bookmarking and posting from this mine.